Welcome, shiners, to another episode of Arise and Shine. I am your host, Dr. V, and today we are delving deep into a topic that resonates with everyone: overcoming personal doubt, a journey to self-confidence. Buckle up because we are about to embark on an accelerating journey of transformation and empowerment. Someone excited out there. So, as we kickstart this conversation, let's look at the power of vulnerability. We all face doubts and insecurities at some point. To kick things off, let's talk about vulnerability. Welcome, shiners, to another episode of Arise and Shine. I am your host, Dr. V, and today we are delving deep into a topic that resonates with every one of us: overcoming personal doubt and a journey to self-confidence. Buckle up because we are about to embark on an accelerating journey of transformation and empowerment. We all face doubts and insecurities at some point. So to kick things off, let's talk about the power of vulnerability. Have you ever wondered how sharing your struggles can lead to strength? In the Gospel of Mark chapter 5 and in verse 34, Jesus says, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." So let's explore how vulnerability can be a key to healing and self-confidence. I have real examples to share with you. So let's talk about our friend Emily. Emily, one of our listeners, she lives in a village, and Emily was known for her kindness. She's kind, she's a nice person. Everybody loves Emily. But beneath her cheerfulness and everything else is a persistent shadow of self-doubt. Emily often finds herself questioning her own abilities, constantly comparing herself to others, and wondering if she was truly capable of achieving her dreams. So let's continue with Emily. One day, the village community hosted a talent show. Despite her love for singing, Emily hesitated to participate. She doubted her voice. She feared it wouldn't measure up with others. Think about it, comparing herself with others again. However, her friend Sarah, a wise and encouraging soul, persuaded Emily to take the stage. And as Emily stood in the spotlight, her heart pounded with uncertainty. The first note that escaped her lip, to her own surprise, made the audience to fall silent. Everyone was captivated by the raw emotion in her voice. She sang from the depth of her soul, and as the last note echoed, a thunderous applause erupted. Emily, caught off guard by the positive response, felt a flicker of confidence ignited within her. I know there are many Emilys listening to me right now. You are still wondering, is the stage for me? Should I take that next step? Should I apply for that job? Should I start a new career? You've got a light in you, like it was in Emily. And, it's this fear, it's this self-doubt, like it held Emily back. This is what is holding you back. But let's carry the conversation further on this journey to unearth what really holds us back. How do we overcome personal doubt? How do we move towards that journey of self-confidence? The next thing is we need to ask ourselves the tough questions. And let's address this critical question that we all avoid. And the question is, what is the root cause of all our doubts? And how can we unearth this root cause, and so we can deal with it once and for all? So think about it. And I'll illustrate this with a few points, 1 or 2 points. Let's look at it like this. Picture your mind as a vast garden. A garden that has lots of thoughts, emotions, but within your mind and within this garden, doubt often grows in the shadows, like elusive veins sneaking their ways through the flowers in a garden. So your first step is to do what? Acknowledge that this doubt is always there, and will be guided by the age-old wisdom that is found where? In the book of Matthew chapter 7 and in verse 7. And it says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. So when you think about it, when you begin to reflect about your own doubt, you begin to think about the little voice that has been stopping you from owning the stage, that is like that little vine, that little weed that grows in the garden of your mind, that has been stopping you from taking that step, writing the book, starting that business, doing the things you want to do. The next thing is, you are not alone. And many people listening to us have similar stories. And we ask some of our listeners to share their own personal doubt journey to self-confidence. And brace yourself for some raw and real stories. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. So, we spoke to some of our listeners, and this is what they had to say. One of our listeners, Mark, said, I used to doubt my creativity. It felt like a barren field. One day I asked myself, why? It turns out I carried childhood critics, Mark said. By acknowledging them, I planted new seeds of self-love, and creativity did what? It flourished. Let's give a shout out to Mark there for sharing his story with us. Let's give him a shout out. The next listener said to us, she said, career doubt haunted me until I faced a pattern, fear of failure. I dug deep into my past and I realized it traced back to a childhood incident. Once I unearthed it, I replanted with lessons, turning fears into what? Stepping stones. Let's give her a shout out there for sharing this, turning this career setback into what? A stepping stone. And our last listener who gave us her story said, relationship doubt crippled me. Think about it. Is that you? Is that me? Into my past. So when I started digging into my past, it revealed trust issues from a past heartbreak. Recognizing the root allowed me to heal and replant. Now my confidence in love is stronger than ever. Let's give her a shout out. Let's give her a shout out for taking off those doubts that does true love exist? Is it in this world or in the next world? And that was just in her mind. And once she dealt with all this, what happened? Now she says, my confidence in love is stronger than ever. So these stories resonate with each and every one of us, don't they? The roots are tangled, but they can be unraveled. So stay tuned for more insight into this transformative journey on Arise and Shine. Shiners, are you still there? Comment in the section. Share your stories. Let's keep the stories coming. Let's deal with this issue of overcoming personal doubt, a journey to self-confidence. I want all of our community to come out in this season as confident people that are rising and shining in different areas, different calling, whatever your call, your purpose in life is. So let's look at how do we build resilience through faith. So buckle up, shiners. We are about to delve into the heart of overcoming doubt through faith. In Proverbs chapter 3 in verse 5 and 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to God, and he will make your path straight." So think about this. Picture your doubt as those twists and those turns in your life's path. And then what do? And look at faith as that compass that guides you through. It says, trust in the Lord. Trust in him with all your heart. And he will do what? He will deal with that path and make it straight. So the Bible is full of timeless wisdom. So let's look at some more stories of resilience. If we look at Psalms 34 and in verse 4, it is written, "I sought the Lord and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears." He delivered me. So doubt and fears, they are like siblings. They are like brothers and sisters, and they walk hand in hand. And when you look at seeking divine guidance, he said, "I sought the Lord and he did what? He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears." So when you seek the Lord and say, "Lord, I can't do, I doubt myself. Oh, I think I can't sing. I have the worst voice. Oh, Lord, I think I can't start this business." And when you begin to think of those doubts and you say, "Oh, God, answer me, deliver me from this fear." And like the word says in Psalms 34 and in verse 4, it says he answers and he delivers. So hold on to your seat and as we journey through the story of Brother Gideon. I love this guy as recorded in the good book in Judges chapter 6. Think about it. This guy was raised in an era in Israel's history where the nation was really under attack. The Midianites were attacking them from all angles. They were destroying their crops. They were doing all kinds of evil, and everyone was hiding. So Gideon goes and hides himself, threshing wheat in a wine press. What an odd destination. But that was a safe place for him to do what he had to do at the time. And then God arises and says, "Hey, mighty man of valor." And Gideon turns around and says, "Is that me? Who are you talking about?" And God says, "Yes, you, Gideon, mighty man of valor." And Gideon says, "God, you may be joking, right? My family is the least of all the families in Israel. And think about it. Amongst my siblings, I am the weakest. I'm the weakest. Please, God, look for someone." But God's belief, God's words to Gideon ignited him. It ignited him to be transformed into the mighty warrior that he became in his generation. Even the smallest seed of faith can actually transform us to bring out the greatness that is in us. So let's look about what the Bible says again in James chapter 1 and in verse 6. It challenges us. But let him ask. Wherever you ask in faith with no doubt. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the the wind. So when we want to grow out from overcoming self-doubt and all these fears, we need to believe. So imagine yourself anchored in faith, unwavering as a lighthouse against the storms of doubt. It is time to apply these biblical principles practically. So join me in the next thrilling minutes, in the next few minutes, as we explore tangible strategies to weave this faith into the fabric of what resilience on Arise and Shine. Yes, all right, shiners. The time for transformation is now. We've delved into the depths of vulnerability. We've asked the tough questions. We've had real stories that have echoed through the corridors of our own doubts and have fortified ourselves with the strength of what faith when we looked at the stories of the Bible from Gideon and others. But here is the magic. Now let's turn these insights into what? Action, shiners. Action. So let's start by imagine your doubt as what? Stepping stones. Each one leading you towards a more confident you. That doubt of your voice, like our friend that we listened to her story before, let it be a stepping stone, taking you to a more confident you. In Philippians chapter 4 and in verse 13, it says, we find the declaration, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So not some things, all things. It is not just a verse in the Bible. It will be a verse in the Bible if that's what you take it for. But it's a mantra for your journey. I love this scripture. I believe in it. I believe I can do all things. I believe our community out there can do all things. I believe you listening to me right now, you can do all things. It can move you from doubt to confidence. So the first step you need to do, embrace what? Gratitude. Embrace gratitude. In the hustle of life, it's easy to overlook our achievements. Take a moment each day to acknowledge your victories, big or small. Gratitude is like a fertilizer for the seed of confidence. I always, in recent times, if you're close to me and you listen to me regularly, you will know one of the things that I have grown to know is just being grateful. Just being grateful. It's such a massive seed. It just takes you to the next level. So the next thing, once we are grateful, when we leave, not complaining, moaning people, we are grateful people. The next thing is channel your inner detective. Channel your inner detective. Investigate the doubt. Are they rooted in your past experiences? Yes, the business might have failed. Yes, you might have had issues in school. Yes, you might have had challenges from society. Well, whatever. Your experiences. Is it societal expectations? Everyone wants you to be this and that and this and that. Is it self-imposed limitations? By identifying the sources of this doubt, you are pulling those doubts out by the root. So let's all take a moment. Let's re-listen to this episode and let's begin to put in those detectives and identify those root causes. What is causing us to doubt ourselves? And we begin to shine the light on them and let the darkness disappear. So the next thing is, let's conquer the comparison game. Think about this. Emily that we listened to in the story, she said, I can sing like others. They all can sing better than me. Your journey in life is uniquely yours. I'll repeat this. Your journey in life is uniquely yours. In Galatians chapter 6 and in verse 4, it says, each one should test their own actions, then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. Your journey is uniquely yours. And when you write this at the back of your mind, then you know that you are becoming every day the best version of you. And stop thinking that you want to be like the other girl, like the other boy, like the other man, like the other woman, like the other employee. No, they are walking their path, and your journey is uniquely yours. And finally, surround yourself with a confidence squad. A confidence squad. Seek out those who uplift, those who encourage, those who inspire you. Proverbs chapter 27 and in verse 17 reminds us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. One of the things you don't want to do is to be in this year and you are amongst the people who doubt you. They don't believe in anything you say. They don't encourage you. They don't inspire you. Why are they still on your friends list? It's time to begin to get some people off your friends list and look for the right community that I call what? A confidence squad. The people that uplift, the people that encourage, the people that inspire you to become the best version of yourself. There you have it, folks. There you have it, people. There you have it, shiners. A toolkit for your journey to an unstoppable self-confidence, dealing with personal doubt. So take these steps today and watch the transformation unfold. Remember, you are not alone in this. Subscribe to the channel, Arise and Shine with Dr. Vivian Atud. Share your victories with us and keep shining on, because you can, because your better days are ahead. Thank you for joining us on this episode, and I will see you in the next episode.